Here. How we doing? Turn it down for a second, chat. I'm effing exhausted. Oh my gosh. What a long night. What a long day. We gotta suck it up, Buttercup. 6 games. I like these games. It's gonna be a high-scoring slate. Brace yourself. It should be fun, nonetheless. What's up, Dez? Quan? Marvski? Pin snapping. Brian Anderson, man, what's up, guys? Hope you guys are having a good middle of your week. Happy hump day, right? February 25th. Oh, it's not even Thursday. Wow, we are over the hump. It don't feel like it. Haven't had a smooth day off in a hot minute, but it's all right, though. All-Star break coming up real soon. Dad said, I did okay, but Jayshawn Tate is so inconsistent. I thought dude would show up with it being his first game playing back home in Ohio. Ooh. What up, Dougie? Vucci Gang. Spent 10 racks on a new chain. Oh. Crispy. What's up, Gun? I got the 2K21 vault method down and got 3x free Galaxy Opals last night. I don't know what that means, bro. 2K. I'm guessing that's the NBA 2K21 vault method down. Got 3x free Galaxy Opals. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. What up, Damian? Damian Carnahan. What up, Mark K? Damian, yo, my best line yesterday scored 334. Had Dejounte Murray, Chris Paul, SGA, Lonnie Walker, Jaylen Brown, Robinson, Tatum, Lyles, and Jared Allen. Dude, can we talk about how Tatum let us all down? Oh. The funny thing is, min cash and a breaking even is tilting until you constantly start donating, lose all your buying money. Yeah, hey, if you guys, if you enter the world of multi-entry or mass multi-entry, 20, 50, 100 lineups, the median range in outcomes or the average night is losing a little bit to break even. And then that 25, 30% of the time you're trying to profit. Great, right? I would say the losing a little bit, break even, winning a little bit, like that's your average night, and you're just swimming till you get that big one. But it is what it is. Yesterday was a little weird. It was one of those break even nights for me. Jared Allen, 61 DKP. Jimmy Butler, 62 against Toronto, almost trip dubbed. What do we have? We had Dragic back, Tyler Hero out. SGA, definitely discussed him, and my thought process behind playing a lot of SGA was, my goodness, were the Spurs chalk. And he just made sense as a run back, and he was going to lead the team and everything, usage, minutes, all that good stuff. 42 real points on him. Danilo Gallinari, 92 of a back-to-back with 38 real points, connecting for 10 threes. 10! Oh, my goodness. I know we all had a little saltiness on that one. I had some, I didn't have enough, but I've been religiously playing Gallo, and I was like, you know what, night 2 of back-to-back, let me calm down a little bit. I don't know if he's ever hit 10 threes in a game in his life. Yesterday, he just went bananas. Sabonis crushed it. He had to at his price. Dejounte Murray, easy click. Trae Young, another 50 bomb. That's what he does. Really the only surprises for me, the letdowns, came out of the Boston Celtics, man. They came out here and got smacked without Kemba Walker. I anticipated Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum to be good plays, and they just weren't. Jason Tatum was 4 for 20, lol, just blaze it, and put up 19.75. He was one of my highest owned players, so he did not want me to be great last night. A Jeff Teague revenge game, if you had some of that, congrats. And even Jaylen Brown, that wasn't great. 30 and a half fantasy points. What are you going to do? But other than that, no surprises. I guess the Spurs value, LaMarcus Aldridge, not starting was kind of a late curveball. They did start Lucas Simonik, who I decided to get a little bullish on. He's one of the better players in the G League right now, averaging like 20 and 10, 32 minutes. So I bought the hype on that. It wasn't great. It wasn't what you want. But really, no Spurs. I mean, like Dejounte Murray, that was it. Everyone else was just like an average play, and I we discussed that being the median range of outcome yesterday. It's like it's not like the Spurs have 5 guys on the bench, and it's not like it would be stunning to just see them all be average plays and just one guy thrive, and that's what it was. Unfortunately, I let myself have an elevated amount of Lonnie Walker, and 22 didn't kill you at his ownership. But then I really bought in on Simonik, and that didn't go great. But what are you gonna do? Mr. Portugal, what's up, buddy? Tatum killed all my lineups. Yeah, I mean, I had plenty of Tatum lineups like high in the tournament lobbies last night because I had so much Dejounte, so much Jared Allen, stuff like that. But Tatum did not want me to be great. JaVale McGee scored 0.2 less points than Tatum. Duncan Robinson. We were talking about the viability of Duncan being a play because of that matchup typically resulting in needing to drop or shoot three balls, right? What's up, B-Fam? These guys get paid millions and can't play like they're supposed to in games they're supposed to. That's the glory of DFS. A lot of lackluster games, but the All-Star break is coming really, really soon. Speaking of the All-Star break, we re-released the All-Star to All-Star break special at rundfs.com. So if you guys want to lock in from now until the baseball All-Star break in July, you guys can get daily access to the spreadsheets, daily access to the Discord, and I think it was at 200. Let me double check that, which I think is a really, really good value. Yeah, so 200. So 4 months for $200, really good, considering all the perks there. So if you guys want to take advantage of that, go do that. Anybody get up early today for Top Shot, or is that just me? Oh my goodness, it got bad. What's up, Jim? Still profited last night, even though I had Jaylen Brown and Tatum. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Guys, should we bring in the Rajanator? Let's do that. Let's drag Raj in here. Hear it?
Yo.
Bro, have you just been sitting in this voice chat for 30 minutes, sitting in silence, waiting for that?
I was watching like YouTube clips and whatnot, do some other work, but yeah.
What was YouTube clips of what?
I was just on like Fox Sports Radio, watch some Chris Broussard, Rob Parker, other kind of sports stuff.
Oh, okay.
Sports stuff, yeah.
So I get lost in YouTube clips. It's usually either baseball, Yankee hype videos. By the way, if anybody's out there making hype videos for your favorite team, stop starting these videos with the losing moment from the season prior. It's not just for Yankee videos, but it seems like every time I watch a hype video, it's like,
I mean, they want to start with the down, start with the sad music,
it's
and
so
then get a hype
cheesy and not. And if I have to see Altuve hit a homer off of Chapman one more time, I'm gonna lose my mind. But yeah, the baseball highlights and Fortnite highlights, I get lost in that for days. Anyway, what's up, Giuliano? Cashing 3 last night. Wish I had more of Jared Allen. Allen was so good. So good.
Allen came through. You know what I was tilted last night? Literally, I don't know if you were listening to me in the chat or just ignore me. But I was literally I was like, yeah, so no one's going to play Jimmy Butler today, right? You're just going to go overlook. Ends up being like the highest score on the slate. Yeah. And I mentioned, like, you know how the Boston, Tatum and Brown, the Zion and Ingram pair, because they had a great matchup too. Like, it was just both pairs. They end up outscoring the Boston and Tatum combo, which is more chalk. I'm just like, damn, but I was just playing 3 entries. So I wasn't making those pivots. But I was like, yo, just more, it's so tilting. Literally said these plays. It's just, Trae Young was there.
It doesn't matter. You would have had, like, ridiculous Spurs value guys or something.
Oh, yeah, the Vassal just ended up shooting, Spurs. I can't believe we fell for Spurs trap, too. Like, it's, again, we literally talked about that, too. We're really going to fall for Pop's trap. And it's like, okay. What are you going?
I mean, Dejounte Murray, it was a free square. I wasn't overly. I late. I got on Samanic, but I was pushing back on Aldridge from the get go.
I blame Chronic for Samanic. He got us all on Samanic.
No. I was on it. Like soon as the name dropped, like
you got us all on Samanic.
He's a G League superstar. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But no, no matter like if you could have played Jimmy Butler. But the thing is, like, if you play Jimmy Butler, you weren't gonna be off of Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. Like it was just a good process. Like those guys should have thrived. The Spurs spin the wheel, make a deal. We get that 2-3 times a week. A value team stack suckers the world, and it just falls flat. That's whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
the
they
Celtics
over Trae Young in the fourth.
Yeah, Trae Young. Yeah,
didn't get the fourth quarter run. If it was a close game, he would have been the highest score on the slate, I think.
Yeah. Jim says, "Hi, Gun. How are you? Projection? How are your projections? How are your projections have Harden and don't have his highest scores?" I think you're asking, how do my projections like James Harden? Is that I'm assuming autocorrect chopped you up there, Jim.
James Harden?
Yeah, James Harden is going to be the highest projected scorer on the slate, both probably fantasy points and real points. If I can pull up my player projections tab in the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet, any second now it will pull up.
I feel like Giannis has to be close today.
Dude, I think today is gonna. Yeah, I got James Harden at 62, right above Jokic.
Okay. There's a wild slate. Like it's 6 good games. I think all these games. Yeah.
I think if you guys have remember last week, we were like, "Wow, is this the highest scoring game of all time or highest scoring slate of all time?" Like this slate could get really, really crazy. It could get pretty wild.
I think all studs get there. You just got to pick the guy that goes all the way off. Like a 10K 50 probably doesn't get it done today.
Yeah. There's gonna be I don't know. So Luka, Giannis, Harden, they could all drop 60, right? It's like it's one of those nights where you probably don't get that wrong, or you might not be able to get that wrong if they all score within 5 of each other. A lot of these games have really high totals. If we look at it, the Nets, we know how Nets games goes. That should offer some value from the Magic. Kings worst defense in the league going against the New York Knicks. Rose might get a start here in the absence of Elfrid Payton. Clippers, Grizzlies are mad, but we still get high volume and usage out of Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. And then the Wizards are the Wizards, right? The Wizards' defense sucks, and then the Pelicans' defense sucks. And we have
Embiid against Dallas Bigs, who clearly there's nobody.
Yeah, it could get crazy out here. It could get crazy out here, Jokic on Tuesday, 41 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Finished 126 from 100K. If we would have got a triple double, I'm in 100K territory. Oh, Mark, that's tough. That's tough. Shanika Lay says, "You are so fat."
Okay.
Put him in timeout. I appreciate you popping by there, Shaniqua. But guess what, chat? Shaniqua don't live here no more. Get her out of there.
Got the boot.
We can call Raj a good DFS mind just a little. Nah,
sir.
Nah. We not. Hold up. Never that.
100K big is coming. I'm just waiting for that day. I got all the smoke packed up for that day. Let's let it all out. What's good now, baby? What's good?
If you want 100K, then you might break even lifetime, right?
I'll probably be up at least 80K. Then I'll be up 80K. I'll be down 20 right now. I'm thinking.
Oh man,
I'm getting close to the 20 mark. I gotta do the math. Probably somewhere 15, 16.
I'm up the opposite amount, so whatever.
There it is.
Hey, today Fantasy Labs 3 p.m. tweet. I love how you're so okay with just losing, and I'm just out here making a living. It's just
it is what it is.
Listen to me. Fantasy Labs 3 p.m. Eastern tweet. Kristaps Porzingis doubtful. Maxi Kleber probable. Drew Holiday doubtful. Seth Curry probable. He missed last game. Saw Furkan Korkmaz draw the start. Jeff Green questionable. He's missed, creating high minutes and opportunity for perhaps next man up, DeAndre Jordan. Elfrid Payton's doubtful. Potential boost there for Derrick Rose, Emmanuel Quickley, And I think everyone's been waiting for that Derrick Rose moment, at least everyone in Knicks land, for maybe Tom Thibodeau to give him the opportunity. Nerlens Noel probable, Dylan Brooks questionable, Davis Bertans questionable. So that's what we're dealing with today. Drew Holiday, I think I mentioned that, yeah, doubtful against his former team. Chris Robido, what's up, Chris? MC Dub, lock in for tonight, 50 fantasy points. All right. Hey, there's not a lot of crazy takes on this slate with some of the totals and matchups. Building on DraftKings is so fun. There's some value, and I love Jokic and Vucevic. I'm with that. Lorenzo says Embiid is a lock at home on DK. Lorenzo, are you the lock at home guy? I feel like every day I look up at chat, Jokic is a lock at home. Generally, all these people are locks at home. I like it, though. I like it. Obviously, Embiid's a monster play. And Embiid has an opportunity, like him and LeBron, right? Every game is the next verse in the rap battle of MVP. And LeBron last night, his bars were kind of flat, right? Did you see Skip Bayless predict that the Lakers would win, and then LeBron would hit some big shots? And then
Bayless does that. He just likes to prop up LeBron before a game to win, so he can just bash him when he loses. It's just does that.
Yeah, and then he immediately turned on him. What are you gonna do? All right.
Wait to the playoffs. Who cares?
Nah. At the Jazz is such a death sentence, right? All right, let's get started in this slate. 6 games should be easy, fun breakdown. Chat, if you guys got plays and picks that you're on that you like, you want to share it with the class, drop it in chat. We are fully interactive, and I will get caught up on stream between every game breakdown analysis. We want to start off strong. We have partnered with the DeVry Institute Sports Analytics Department, and they did a study. They pulled back my last 100 videos on YouTube, and it turns out everyone who hit the thumbs up button had a 85% chance to score above 330 fantasy points that night in NBA DFS, and their ROI was astronomically higher than viewers who did not hit the thumbs up button. So, I mean, you're going to argue with DeVry? I'm not. Game number 1 tonight, Dallas Mavericks at the Philadelphia 76ers. Project starting 5 for the Mavs: Luka Doncic, Josh Richardson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Maxi Kleber, Dwight Powell, with Porzingis doubtful. Up against Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Danny Green, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid. We got 229 total, 5-point spread in favor of the home team, Philadelphia 76ers. Normal lock time tonight with Porzingis doubtful. The usage rate for Luka Doncic is that much better. He's 11K, 10.9. I think he's going to fall through the cracks because James Harden exists, because some of these other studs seem like they might have a higher floor today. And the reason why I'm a little tapered expectation-wise on the Mavs is I do feel like there's a good chance the Sixers could put this game away pretty early without Porzingis in the mix. We'll see. Maybe they scrap maybe a little revenge Jay Rich or something like that. Stuns us, right? Some Jalen Brunson action. But I don't know. I feel like the Sixers have a puncher's chance at winning this game handily. So I probably pre-flop will put that type of salary investment into the Hardens of the world. But for my contrarian mindset, you know, if you can get the same result at a similar price point and leverage ownership, hey, Luka's got a chip in a chair to do that for you. That front court for the Mavs, we've seen the last 2 games without Porzingis, Dwight Powell, Willie Cauley-Stein, maybe a kiss or two of Boban Marjanovic. There really has been one guy to just take control of those minutes and production. And the last game, Maxi Kleber was out, so there was even an even more strapped front court, and no one really just made something happen. So I don't have a reason to be overly bullish in targeting that Mavs front court for value, and it's really a bad spot against the Sixers front court. Joel Embiid individual defensive rating pretty good. Joel Embiid on DraftKings is 9.9K. Raj, he is projected to score over 50 fantasy points. Opportunity cost pretty low, all things considered. First game on the slate. Get your table setters started. What are you doing with this one?
I mean, Joel Embiid, I think, is the intriguing play. I think he probably goes a little under-owned today. a lot of other studs, and I think he may just fall through the cracks because I think on paper the other studs might be in better spots, slightly higher game totals. Like I think Jokic will be higher owned. Brooklyn, Orlando, I think Vooch will be higher owned. Giannis will be higher owned. Maybe even a Westbrook might be higher owned against Denver. Gonna wait on that. But yeah, I think it was overlooked. Great in tournaments. No one on Dallas is gonna stop in. Give me some Embiid. Luka coming off a down game. Screams like a spot to come back, give you like an 80 bomb. Like from Luka, he probably need to be in a winning lineup with other studs. He'd have to outscore all these studs. So you'll probably need like a 70, 80 DK type of game. Definitely within realm possibility. Give me Luka, give me Embiid. Am I going back to Tim Hardaway, who's been good to me, lately? He's gotten there the past couple of games at his value price. Still no Porzingis. I think I'll probably still go back to him. I think for value, it's fine to go back to Tim Hardaway or even to Jalen Brunson. Not comfortable, but I think keep him in the pool. In the Philly side, I'm probably touching. Ben Simmons is interesting. He may be able to get you like a 50 at his price, which is fine. But I don't think he'd be like a tier 1 or core play.
I think I would be one or the other. Like I probably set a correlation in my opto. Like I don't think I see a common range of outcome on this slate to take the risk of having overlap between Simmons and Embiid. So if I wanted some Embiid, I want to hedge that a little bit with maybe the Ben Simmons trip dub game or whatever. Go for that. But like I said, I'm all about the Embiid versus LeBron MVP campaign fight that they got going on. And the Sixers teammates are buying in. So at times they're feeding Embiid. So I definitely don't mind. Like Embiid under 10K. I think that's just there's a lot that could happen in this matchup. Definitely got even better with Porzingis being down, and we have seen some egregiously high rebound numbers against the Mavs this season when Porzingis is out. And yeah,
so, I mean, Vooch versus Embiid, you're going. I think Vooch will be higher owned.
I think he will, but I also think like there will be a lot of double Embiid Vooch lines on DraftKings. I have Vooch projected.
Just ignore Giannis then?
I have Vooch projected for 1 to 2 more fantasy points than Embiid at 100 less. So optimizer wise, his ownership will probably be a little bit higher. But the Brooklyn Nets also at home. Remember, they unlocked the doors, got some fans in there. Magic 8.5 point spread, so that game's viable to get a little lopsided as well. I think almost every game on the slate could get a little lopsided, but I also think that this spread is awfully generous for the Mavericks, in my opinion. I think there's a good shot that the Sixers at home could put away the Mavericks because Sixers at full strength at home have been really, really dominant. So I don't know. I guess I can't really even flip the blowout narrative. Who are you going to have more of, Embiid or Vooch?
I kind of like the Vooch Fournier pairing. I think Brooklyn still can't play any defense. I know they're winning, but they have to score a ton of points. So I mean, Vooch, I think he dropped like close to 70 last game against them too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going right back to Vooch.
It's one of those spots for me where if the Sixers game stay close and the Sixers win, it doesn't automatically mean that Embiid had a great game, right? Tobias, Ben Simmons, like they could carry a couple quarters.
Back. Yeah.
If the Magic compete with the Nets, Vucevic had a good game. Like, there's no other way they compete.
I feel like his floor in a close game is 60.
Yeah, and that's probably the tiebreaker to me, just because they sink or swim on Vooch. Like, there's no way this game's close if Vooch doesn't have a point per minute in 35 minutes. Mm-hmm. Like, it's as simple as that, in my opinion. Now, watch MCW have the 50 as projected by chat, but. So I guess I probably lean Vooch just a little bit more, but I also might just split him right down the middle, go 50-50. There's other like Jokic. I have Jokic projected to be the number 2 fantasy point scorer on the slate. He's at home against the Wizards. I mean, it's almost a free triple double, right? So even then, I might even go a third of each. So I don't know. I do feel like I'd have to really meditate on what I think because that game is already a double-digit spread, right? The Denver game, 7.5. That game could blow out too. Like this is gonna be.
Well, I feel like Washington's been playing a little better. I know last game at Clippers was rough.
They got smacked by the Clippers, and the Lakers had a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter, and the Lakers blew it. So
they just played Denver like a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
2.8.
I mean,
I'm with it.
I'm hoping the Brody and the gang stick in it, but I'm just saying there's easily a range of outcomes where at Denver you come out flat or you fall flat. So so maybe is it a sucker thing to put him all at like 40% and
I mean,
on
it seems
DraftKings?
like the smart play with all these studs just kind of rotating them in and out. But Embiid's my least favorite of the studs, which is weird to say because he's in a great spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. John Peters says, "Change your clothes. You literally wear the same thing every day."
They out for you today. They really out for you today.
I appreciate the views. I appreciate the channel engagement, Mr. Peters. I'm sure.
I want you to get your Tom Ford suit on.
I feel like if I search his name in a sex offender registry, he might be a 5-star candidate. So, Peters, I bid you adieu. But we got to get him out of here. Bye.
Time to say goodbye.
But appreciate the views, though. Before you leave, hit that thumbs down. Yesterday, those 15 thumbs down really helped. And YouTube, like, wiped it away to 1. Washington with the Matador defense is going down. Yeah. But it's a good spot for all the Nuggets, right? This game might be the game to stack. Philly plays down at home, giving teams the chance to stick around. So typically, like the average range of outcome, I think for a Mavs plus game is Luka +1, and oftentimes that +1 is Porzingis. I think you spin the wheel on a J. Rich, Hardaway, Brunson, and if you had to pick one of those guys, J. Rich, Hardaway, Brunson, is it Hardaway for you?
Yeah, I'm going Hardaway. Get hot from 3.
Yeah.
I like it.
Let's see what you guys got in the live chat before we move on. Embiid will outscore Vucci game by at least 10 to 15, says Lorenza. This game might be the game to stack. Philly plays down at home, giving teams chances to stick around. All right, how you feel about
Luka and Embiid stack? Don't hate.
That's costly, but I'm with it. I can see myself having really, really low to no amounts of Luka today.
And I mean, I get it, but I mean, you also know he could be the highest scorer easily.
I think all the studs sitting at 60. Raj, change your take. Same stuff every day.
I mean, what do you want me to do? I bring the fire every day.
It's a joke for John Peters. Don't freak out of here, bro. Come see me, John. You ain't got time. I got time today. I'm exhausted. I'd love to smack a chomo. The Nets are bad against athletic bigs. Yeah, Nets are bad against all bigs. You like Terrence Ross gun? Yeah, I think. Let's get to that game in a second. Any James Johnson? I think James Johnson isn't a thing with Clayball in. He drew the start with Clayball out and Porzingis out, so I probably wouldn't expect deeper minutes on James Johnson. Anything worth playing for me, if he surprises. But I got no particular love pre-flop. Hardaway's going to bust. Fair warning. Let's go. J. Rich revenge game. Let's go. Weird slate today. Gun. The mid tier sucks. Raj wants to play everybody. It could be a Seth Curry revenge. It could be 50. You know.
I'm mad to say Seth Curry.
I'm joking.
I mentioned like 4 or 5 guys in that game.
Yeah. We're joking. Brooklyn Nets at the Orlando Magic. Project starting 5 for the Magic. Michael Carter Williams, Evan Fournier, James Ennis III, Al Farouk Aminu, and Nikola Vucevic taking on James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Joe Harris, Bruce Brown, and Jeff Green. We got a 228.5 total. 8.5 point spread in favor of the home team, Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets, the Barclays Center to open up the doors to some fans for the first time last game, and we saw James Harden make quite the first impression for some of the new Nets faithful. He led the last slate in fantasy points with a big 70.75 DKP game, played 41 minutes. We've seen 37 or minutes out of Harden in 4 straight games, and he's doing a little bit of everything. Triple-double potential anytime he touches the court, and 20-plus shot attempts. I mean, he's absolutely You look back at that MVP season for Harden, and then you start isolating some stretches this season, and if you can see past, like Harden's kind of doing that. If he comes back on the other side, the Nets make a really deep run. I think it'll get fogged up with Kevin Durant being in here and there, and his numbers won't be as extreme. But the Nets have kind of found a groove. At first, they were losing to like the Cavs and stuff, but they kind of found a groove, come out there making some big wins. And now they host the Orlando Magic. Magic have a wide range of outcomes when it comes to this game. I think they have a couple of guys that could score, keep it close. Evan Fournier, Terrence Ross, Vucevic. But if one of those guys have a tough game, the Nets at home could be a problem for them. But I do think I got to trust the volume, the usage, the minutes on Nikola Vucevic. The projections, love him. And at 10K, shot at 50 to 60 fantasy points, and he's somebody we've seen shake the slates for even more. Evan Fournier is at 7K on both sites. I think that's one of those. You're not used to clicking 7K for Evan Fournier, but in this matchup, I mean, you probably need 25, 30 real points out of him if you expect this game to kind of live up to the team total and stay competitive. And then off the bench, Terrence Ross, 6'2", 6.7K. I feel like I don't want a ton of overlap between Fournier and Ross, but they'll both be in the pool for me. And then on the net side, Harden, Kyrie, I've said it time and time again, we can handcuff them together, probably scoop over 100 fantasy points, and Harden is a priority. I think Harden, when you look at this slate, once you're done breaking down every game, you can start ranking studs and who you want exposure to. We've spent some minutes talking about Vooch versus Embiid, but there's an argument to be made that James Harden could be one of the top 3-4 owned players on the slate. Price be darned, and when the highest or the second or third highest priced guy on the slate is potential 40-50% owned on a 6-gamer, you got to start thinking about what you want to do with that. And if that's where ownership projections might reach by the time lock comes, I think I'd rather be all in than all out on Harden. And I think I 1v1 him versus Luka, and I easily go Harden. Giannis is the more interesting debate because Giannis at home against the Pelicans, I mean, he could drop 70 as well. So I'm kind of curious to see where the field lands on Harden because there's so many high-dollar, viable logistical plays. What do you do with this one? And if you think Harden could be 35% owned right now, where do you want to be at in 20-50 lineups?
James Harden. Probably be like a 30%er for me. I might just match the field, maybe a little under. There's so many studs. Again, he could be the highest scorer of the slate. He could not at that price tag. You're gonna need probably 70 plus from him. I think. Do I have more Vooch than Harden?
Maybe. I don't.
You don't? Yeah, I guess center's a little. Yeah, center's just a little more of a premier spot, so I probably don't. But yeah, give me Harden. Less Kyrie. I think he's 8'9", playing with Harden. He can still get you, close to 50, which is fine. I just don't know if he has that 60-point upside, which you'll probably need today playing with Harden. Harden, Vooch. I love Fournier. Bit of a down game last game. Before that, 45 plus both those games. I kind of expect that against Brooklyn. Michael Carter Williams is an interesting play. I mean, mentioned in the chat.
But is he though? Like, are you?
He's getting you 5x in this elite spot. Could we have a vintage Michael Carter Williams Philadelphia days type of game?
Stop.
He's getting you 10 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. I can see a baby triple. I can see a Draymond Green type triple double.
Okay.
10 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists.
Yeah.
This Pacers matchup, it's very intriguing. 5,600. There's some upside there. I'm going to have some Michael Carter Williams in the pool. So MCW, Evan Fournier, Vooch, Terrence Ross at 6,700. It's a spot.
It is.
But you're paying. It seems like he's almost priced as upside. Obviously, you can have 50 spot, which he's had. But with Fournier back, I'm a little less. I prefer Fournier over Ross, and they're the same price on DK. So
yeah,
that's my take on that. And I guess on Brooklyn, other than Harden, Bruce Brown. If Jeff Green is out again, I just think he's going to be locked into some minutes. He shot 11 for 13 last game. No, probably won't get that again, but I think get you 30 at 4,600. So
Yeah, extremely efficient there. I thought that the minutes for Bruce Brown last game would be like wild without Jeff Green or whatever, but he only got 25 minutes and
that's
he
interesting.
did his thing. But 29 real points seems like a little bit of a higher expectation. I think the median range outcome for him is probably like 15 to 20. And probably 15 is a little bit more on the realistic side. If Jeff Green's in the mix, Bruce Brown's in the mix, Joe Harris, like they all spin the wheel, make a deal. They could all be 20, 25, even 30 fantasy points. I'm not going to push the issue on them. If Jeff Green's out, I might. Luwawu, I think, was out that game as well. Don't quote me on that. But if those guys are out, you can make a case for Jordan. And then I think they have Roberson and Shumpert active, or did they waive? I feel like I saw them waive somebody, and I'm not gonna play either one of those, but it doesn't become a case where they have no bodies. Let's get caught up on chat here, man. I let you ramble for a minute, and people, I got a couple trolls today, man. People woke up today and chose trollants. Is that a thing? Anyway,
They on one today.
somebody named The Dark Knight is here said, "Why would I listen to you with this advice? Do you have a winning rapport or something? How much have you won in fantasy?"
He wants your numbers.
I mean, that's cool, but I don't believe this is an advice show. But also, I've won way more than he probably makes in a year.
Bang, bang.
And I'm just really grumpy today, chat. I'm on like 3 hours of sleep. Top Shot okey doked me in a couple drops. I stayed up late. I ain't got time for the trolls, you know. I will make some trolls cry today.
Bang, bang.
But anyway, we're not here. It's not an advice show. It's a discussion show. If you want advice, keep it moving. Mr. Portugal, I'm taking a stand. Fade this game. If I lose, oh well. Feeling like this is a trap game. I think I think Vucevic has that range of outcomes where the Magic gets smoked, right? Like, and if that happens and Vooch drops, 40 or less, you might be back against the wall because I don't think you can get center wrong today and live to tell about it. So if you're playing Vooch, like, feel as good as possible that the Magic on the road here can keep this game close. So that's probably the fade that I think I would justify if I saw him elevate to like an ownership projection that I thought was unneeded. And the same thing with Embiid. Like, I think the Sixers could blow out their game as well. But like I said, if the Magic stay close, I think Vucevic had a massive game. Great call, Raj, on MCW, but Fournier is the de facto point guard. Yeah, so somebody had asked, Shadow Stefan said, what do you think about Fournier over 3.5 assists?
Oh, easy.
So, yeah, let me pull up the player props tab in the rundfs.com NBA VIP spreadsheet. Matter of fact, I feel like it's frozen. I think it went offline. I'll refresh it. Hey, those other sides are 100K bragging like they so good. We're not here to shoot slugs, but I don't got time to explain my resume to random people in chat. You guys know how we do. The vibes. Let me refresh the spreadsheet here. Joe Harris is gonna ball. All right. What's up, EB? See who's on one. Y'all know I'm laid back Cadillac Jack, but man, I'm tired today. I'm grumpy. I already drank a bang. Actually, I got 2 bangs here. I already shotgunned this mocha. I'm just tired. I need a nap. All right, so what are we doing? We're looking for Evan Fournier. Control F Fournier. So the question was 3.5 assists. I think that's fair. I'll do a couple of number crunching for you, Stefan. I think that's I don't think that's a egregious number to bet, but I want to put some context and some numbers to it because Vucevic will probably have a high assist rate, and then I could see MCW doing well in that category as well. Let me go pull up the on-off court tool from Fantasy Labs. And let's go take off, what do you say, Aaron Gordon, Fultz, Cole Anthony, And then let's put on Vooch and Fournier. And see if we can't get an assist percentage on Fournier. It's at 23.5%. So with this total, this pace, I definitely think Fournier has a shot. I got him at 4.2 assists in the projection. So yeah, 3.5. We just took a long road. Yo, your family will be crying after you die from eating a couple more Baconators, pal. Fam,
My dudes are out here today.
I get the pretzel burger, by the way.
Talk about it.
Jesus H. Gun low-key dominating DFS asylum. I'm here. I do what I do. What players do you think could break the slate tonight? All of the studs are in great spots. Like all of the top. Jordan's looking like good value. That dude came back under another account. This is hilarious. I'm actually honored that someone wants to spend their life going to multiple accounts and coming to chat. I don't know. Anyway, next game on the docket, Sacramento Kings at the New York Knicks. Project starting five for the Kings: De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, Harrison Barnes, Marvin Bagley, Rashawn Holmes taking on Derrick Rose, Reggie Bullock, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, and Nerlens Noel. 225s are a total 1.5 point spread in favor of the New York Knicks. So while this game may not have the highest total of them all, it's still up there. It's still a game where we might get some Tibbs high-minute guys against the league worst defense. We pull up that team metrics chart in the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet. We look at defensive rating. And the Sacramento Kings league worst defense, 118.9 points per 100 possessions, and moving up against the New York Knicks, who are a good defense and run at the league's slowest pace. What is happening? Why am I'm losing stuff here. Let me pull this on the other screen here. I think anyway, so the Knicks run at the league's slowest pace, but guys like Julius Randle, if you're going to put him at nearly 40 minutes here, 35, 37, not an egregious projection. Against this matchup, I think Randall has a spot to be one of the sneakiest plays, right? Like, I got him at 36.5 minutes. He's right there at 9K. He can easily drop a 50-plus fantasy point game considering this matchup. Nerlens Noel, I think, is expected to play. He's another guy that can thrive against the Kings. The Kings, a subpar defensive rebound rate. They give up a ton of points in the paint. And they're just not good. So everyone's got a chip in a chair. And then Derrick Rose is at least intriguing. We're losing, 22 minutes of Elfrid Payton. And I think we might be able to evenly distribute those to either Derrick Rose, Quickly, maybe Alec Burks, or and I think Derrick Rose.
I think Quickly starts and Rose still comes off the bench.
I would actually prefer that. I want a little less overlap between Rose and Randall. So if that happens, I'd be right there at 4,600 on Derrick Rose. I think that's super viable. And then Quickly, I'll play some Quickly. Absolutely. There was a long stretch of Quickly dominance, a 4-game stretch earlier this season where he was just every time I looked up Quickly, he was in the winning lineup. So give me those guys. What about the Kings? So we mentioned how bad they are defensively, but the Knicks are really good defensively. Not a lot of people realize that. I think they're top 5 in defensive efficiency, top 3. The caveat there is their offense is not great, and the Knicks' pace is really down. So a couple things that stand out to me is, one, based on those metrics, I'd probably take the Knicks to cover, and 2, I don't want to pick on that specifically, but are we eliminating Kings from the player pool? I feel like that's a ambitious statement, but is it wrong to not be able to get to 7-7, 7-8 De'Aaron Fox?
I mean, I think Halliburton's intriguing. I never get him right. He just has these big games and good spots. But you mentioned New York's a good defense. They play slow. I think these Sacramento guys, a couple of them are a little priced up because of their former matchups. Going against Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Chicago, had some elite matchups. So it looks like I probably won't get to a in 3 entry maxes. I don't know if I get to any Sacramento guys. With Fox 7-8, sure, there's meat on the bone there. He hasn't smashed that price in a while. Harrison Barnes 5,900. against the Knicks. He dropped 44 last time in 35 minutes. I mean, he's a guy who just has those random big games. But again, not running to play. If I fall into one of these guys because the price works, sure, but I'm not running to play any Sacramento guys. New York, I mean, Randall, probably a tier 2 type of play for me. And Derrick Rose quickly. I think you can play them both together at their prices, 4,100 or 46 on DK. I think those guys together could get you. I mean, you combine their prices, they're 8,700. They both should get you a combined 60. I think you're cool with that, 65.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I like those two with Randall in New York, and on Sacramento side, maybe just if I fall into a Fox, Barnes. I want to play Halliburton, but price is really up there now after some huge games.
So I'll say this: if you're going the Harden route, right, you're probably gonna have to sacrifice one of the centers, being Vooch, Embiid, Jokic. The Knicks against center, there's been some decent center games against the Knicks. Rashawn Holmes might not be the worst stocking stuffer idea. I think if Jeff Green's out, like I'd probably chip and chair DeAndre Jordan for hopefully 25 fantasy points. But I don't think Rashawn Holmes would be out of my pool to afford me opportunities at those Harden and lineups. Holmes missed a couple of games, and that afforded like
he had 6 blocks against New York last game.
Yeah. But that's not insane. But yeah, 38 and a quarter against Brooklyn in 26 minutes. Game a little bit lopsided. In the previous Knicks game, he got 37 minutes. That's not going to happen. I don't know if that's one of the games where Bagley was out. But I still think per minute he can be a decent contributor. And when it comes to blocks allowed, I mean 5.6 by the Knicks, considering how slow of a pace they run. It's an elevated spot for some blocks. So I'm just saying, like, we're going to need some value in the front court fantasy-wise if we're going to go get some Kyrie Harden lines or Luka or, guys like that, Westbrook. And I think we got to start considering some of these front court guys. And just the same as Rashawn Holmes, Nerlens Noel, 5'4", 4'8" on either site, could rebound and block his way into a okay stocking stuffer game, right? 25 fantasy points as a floor is kind of what I'm looking for at these price range. But against the Kings, sure, I'd definitely take it. Last couple centers against the Kings, DeAndre Jordan had 28 fantasy points in 35 minutes. That's kind of the game I'm looking for at this area, and I don't think that's like an egregious shot in the dark. So if we're just looking for some value floor centers, I definitely want to introduce those two. And then RJ Barrett got a little bit of love last slate because 5.5 is awfully cheap for a guy that's projected to be second in minutes. The projections still like him at 30 fantasy points. He's still against league worst defense. Is 5.5 is he going to be one of the mid tier stocking stuffers that you lean on, or are you just not a Barrett guy?
He burned me last game. I had some Barrett. He burned me last game in a good matchup.
Yeah, I think it has to be a goldfish memory though, because prior to that, 28 or more in 3 straight, and we're giving him just an elite spot. So
yeah, it's elite spot. He only played 27 minutes last game. That's low. I like playing RGB when he's playing 35, 36 minutes. Dropped 33 against Sacramento last time, close to a point per minute. Yeah, he's in the pool. I think a lot of the Knicks guys with their prices are in the pool. I probably limit him to 2, maybe 3 in one line. But yeah, you keep RGB at 5,500 cheap price tag. I mean, it looks like the minutes aren't one thing. Like in the beginning of the season, he was playing 38, 39 minutes almost every night.
Right.
Now it's 27, 34, 27, 33. So minutes are down, which is a little worrisome.
Looking at chat, yes, Hassan Whiteside is out, so might help us on our Rashawn Holmes minute floor, but also Marvin Bagley, who was restricted to 35 minutes a couple games back, and I'll never forgive Luke Walton for that one. Let's get caught up on chat here. Dougie, DK bots are mad at Gun today, taking shots in different accounts. And it's happened a couple days, but I don't know. This is what it is. I usually don't pay him the time of day because none of those guys would pull up to my front door right now. I promise you that. And that's how you just brush off trolls because they got nothing better to do. And it's sad, it is, but I didn't have sleep today, so I'm gonna bark at some of these guys. Burks decent value too, says Joss. Yep. Is Peyton out for sure? I think he's doubtful, so I don't think he's officially out, but I'm pretty sure we can plan for him to be out. Randall Lock and Loan. What's up, Mark? What up, Josh Clemente, John Morant, or De'Aaron Fox? Man, probably De'Aaron Fox, but I'm not like extra privy or excited on either one individually today. I think I probably go low or high at point guard, but I guess the answer would be Fox there. Also, Tyrese Halliburton 7.5 on FanDuel. I can't do that.
He can get 50 here. I wouldn't be shocked.
Mm-hmm. James says, what? Okay. That is the Raj catchphrase. I can get 50 today. I wouldn't be shocked. Like, that's Raj. If I could just record that. Knicks are down 2 quality defenders today with Peyton and Robinson out. I might lean towards Holmes as a sneaky. I like Holmes. Noel's better playing off the bench. Noel's not really like a great individual offensive player. We're just playing him for dunks, blocks, and some rebounds. And I'm not expecting him more than 5-8 shot attempts. It's really just blocks and rebounds, and against this team, he might get it. Halliburton revenge for not drafting him. Come on, bro. Maybe. I don't know. That's a price. That's a price on Halliburton. All right, let's move on to the next game here. Memphis Grizzlies hosting the Los Angeles Clippers. Project starting 5 for the Clippers. Patrick Beverley, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Nick Batum, Serge Ibaka taking on John Morant, Grayson Allen, Dylan Brooks, Kyle Anderson, Jonas Valanciunas. 225.5 total, 8.5 points spread in favor of the Memphis Grizzlies. And now we wait. Let's see. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. Could they fall under the scope of some of the studs today? If you're jamming in the 10K studs, you probably don't have a lot of expendable dough in the 8-9K range. So I like the thought, at least pre-flop, of combining them for 100 plus fantasy points. 8.5 point spread. Wait, did that say Memphis? Time out. I think I put the wrong spread here. There's no way Memphis was 8.5. Let me pull that up. Sleepy Gun effing up. Meanwhile, chat. Nobody? Okay. All right. Fine. We don't have to do drops. 8.5 for the Clippers. Yeah, I knew that was wrong. Raj, are you gonna get to the high usage combination of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard today? Logistically, like, yes, they can both drop 50.
Game,
right?
Yeah, I'm not that. This game probably just crossed out for me. I think we got 5 solid games, great totals, teams that don't play. I mean, this game is just. I think the Clippers probably run Memphis off the floor here. I would think. I'm just gonna fade this game and hope nobody gets there. They're fully healthy. Like, both teams seem like they got everyone back.
But I mean, Paul George is still had some slate breakers. So I think of this like your Jimmy Butler take yesterday, right? Are we just not playing Jimmy and we get dueling 50s out of these two, or at least one? I think it's possible. But I also think they should win this game pretty handily. Should.
Like, I'm not playing a lot of Kyrie either, probably, and he's 8,900 to Paul George, both same position on DraftKings as a shooting guard. And if I was playing anyone, I'd probably just play Kyrie. So I'm like, I'd have no Paul George.
All right. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I'm just kind of curious, game theory wise, where we land here.
Yeah.
Grizzlies have added Justice Winslow to the mix recently. Dylan Brooks is questionable. If he can't go, that could be 30 minutes off the table. They replace that, maybe distribute that amongst the combination of Kyle. The Andersons got tickets to the game. How'd they get tickets? I had to give it to them, Raj. They wanted it. But that's a little social experiment that me and Chronic were talking about. It's just like, watch chat miss out on a couple bits. I guess I think I got Brooks closer to end though. Justice Winslow, 3,839 on a slate where we're really, really enamored by the high scoring guys or the high price guys. It's Justice Winslow a piece. They put him out there, get his reps up, 21 minutes, and then increase to 26 minutes in game number 2. 1 for 10, 3 for 14. He's got to find this shot, but if he finds a shot, puncher's chance at 25 fantasy points to kind of get me where I need to be to glue together some high price guys. Russ, I don't think you're crazy for that one. So sure. I'm probably not there on John Morant. I think the more bodies available for the Grizzlies, who already are like a 28 minutes for everyone, Ja, you get 30 team. I think I can kind of limit my expectations, and I probably just avoid the spot altogether. But I might have to circle back here and really dig into a potential shot on like a Winslow. What is the story on Dylan Brooks? Let me see. Memphis. Dylan Brooks questionable with a sore right thigh. He hasn't played since February 17th with the injury, but this time he isn't being rolled out a full day in advance. So if he's out, that's in my projections. That's 28 minutes. For what it's worth, Russ. Roto World had a Q tag on Winslow, but I'm not seeing anything. I don't see a reason, so it might just be a bad mark. EB says, power forward of FanDuel, who do you like after the top 3? Yeah, buddy, that's ugly. So FanDuel power forward position, we're looking for some value. At the top, Giannis, Randall, Zion, and then we got a Cliff. I think Bagley at 6K still a puncher's chance for 25-30, and I think I'll overpay for 4.5, 5X today. In some positions on FanDuel. I don't hate Nerlens Noel for his minutes in that matchup. It's not great down here. It's really not. Al-Farouq Aminu has been starting. Maybe his minutes begin to progressively increase to where he can net you a 20-plus fantasy point game. 12, 18, 21 against Detroit. Could the 21 become a 22 to 25 eventually? He's been kind of a stat stuffer throughout the years. Not somebody that would you say Al-Farouq Aminu could be a poor man's Robert Covington?
No, absolutely not. Definitely not the comparison we want.
Why? I definitely think that's not a crazy comp. He does he does what Robert Covington does. He just doesn't get 40 minutes a game to be as relevant as Covington. Anyway,
I guess I want to say Covington's a little better shooter, but yeah.
All right, maybe that's fair, but like, I'm just trying to make a quick comp to explain what to expect from him. Power forward is really, really bad down here. I think if I didn't want to pay up, I'd probably stick in that 5K range. The Noel, Bagley, and Bobby Portis. I think he was probable. At 5'6" against the Pelicans, he has a chip in a chair for 25-30 fantasy points. His efficiency. So those are probably guys I'd be looking at, and probably just be really balanced on how much exposure I would have to them. Playing Winslow, not excited about it, but I can play Jokic, Vooch, Harden, Luka, Giannis, and Embiid. You can't play all of them just because of Winslow. Come on, bro. But I see what you're saying. Play the stars tonight. Chip plays like Winslow, win it all, maybe. I'm with that. Kawhi's in the second tier of stars. He's fine. I think it really matters. That's contingent on the quantity of lineups that you'll be running. Because if you're running 20 or less and you want exposure to Luka and Giannis and all those cats, you're wasting a lineup on Kawhi. Like at that point, you might have one lineup out of 20 or 5 out of 50. Like I don't know. I wouldn't make it an issue unless I specifically wanted to go out there and get some mid-tier balanced lineups. But I do think it's an incredible game theory to have some Kawhi, Paul George exposure. They just get it done, right? Missed out. Are we playing D-Rose tonight? I am B-Fam. I also feel like I would feel a little bit more excited if he came off the bench behind quickly. I hate Porter, but I'm going to play Portis. Yeah, I like Portis, man. Per minute. Good. Let's keep it moving. Washington Wizards at the Denver Nuggets. Project starting 5 for the Wizards. Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal, Garrison Matthews, Rui Hachimura, Mo Wagner taking on Jamal Murray, Monte Morris, Will Barton, Michael Porter Jr., Nikola Jokic. We got a 237.5 total. The Denver Nuggets favored by 7 and the hook. And another game that could go off, another game full of studs that could drop 50 to 70. On the Nuggets side, their bench is getting pretty short. I got Dozier, Michael Green, Gary Harris, Paul Millsap out front court. Deep minutes for Jokic from MPJ, and then a trio of guards that I think could eat into each other, but Jamal Murray has been on a tear, and he's playing really, really, really deep minutes, and he could PPM his way. I mean, somebody brought up John Morant and De'Aaron Fox. Man, if you can squeeze out some pennies and go get Jamal Murray, I feel like he's in a better spot. So I might try and go fit him in because of the minutes he's been playing. But there's not a single Nugget starter. I mean, yes, Monte Morris, you push back a little bit. But if you came at me with a lineup that included 2 of these starting 5 Nuggets, I'm not talking you down. Like, they all make sense. They're all plausible. On the Wizards side, Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal, both kind of cheap. Russell Westbrook 9.5 for a succession of 50-plus fantasy point games. Bradley Beal can do whatever. He could drop 40 real points here. I think those two, kind of like Kawhi and Paul George, might fall through the cracks just based on people's propensity to go super studs and scrub today. And that, I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but there's at least some game theory behind playing these two. 7.5 point spread. Wizards, one of the worst defenses in the league, on the road in the altitude at Denver. It's a really, really tough spot. It's easy to let that take over. So, again, no right or wrong way to approach this, but game theory-wise, there's definitely some juice in this game. Jokic, I haven't projected to be the second highest scorer on the slate right now if he gets his normal minutes. I got him at 38.7 minutes. At 10.8, 10.4, I don't know how many lineups can get to Jokic and Harden, but I think both those guys are in elite spots. I think Rui Hachimura did a interview the other day, and he talked about how they were at a team practice and Russell Westbrook had everyone kind of like line up like it was pickup basketball, and he said that Westbrook had everyone proclaim their role on the team. Like, what are you here for? And without context, that sounds kind of douchebaggy. Like, well, what do you do? What's your name? But the idea behind it was to get everyone on the same page. And since then, they've been on a nice little the Clippers game was a down game, but they had a nice little road stretch there. So maybe this team's kind of putting it together, and maybe they surprise some people here. What do you do with this game, Raj?
I'm thinking. Check 1, 2. You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I just plugged it. How much Westbrook are you gonna play?
This slate makes me want to play 150 lineups, dog.
Yeah, that's what this seems
Like,
that.
there's my brain is going nuts with all of these ranges
so
of
many
outcomes.
Yeah, like Westbrook at 9.5, he can get you 50, he can get you 60. It can happen, and it'll just be there. Jamal Murray, I mean, there's a meat on the I mean, at his price too, I think he could score just same amount as a Kyrie Irving or Paul George, and he's a little cheaper at 8,400. So I mean, pairing Jamal Murray and Jokic together, I think you want those two guys. Porter's a little inconsistent at 6K. There's meat on the bone there. Will Barton 5-1. Again, it's Washington. You can have some pieces of him. I think again, it's like facing Brooklyn. You want some of all these guys. Give me some Jamal Murray. Give me Jokic. Give me Barton. Give me some Porter. Washington. I mean, the past few slates, I feel like if you played Westbrook and Beal together, it's been fine. I don't know if it like Westbrook's been getting there. Beal last game got you 48, which is fine. Like, yeah, they've both been fine. They haven't hurt you. They haven't been the reason you haven't won.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't busted yet. So if you want to play those two together at, I mean, combine their prices at 18,700, get a combined, 100, 120 points. I mean, could they be a better pairing than Kyrie and Harden? I'd say so.
I mean, they could. I mean, that's the beauty of game theory here. They definitely could.
Yeah.
But, I mean, metrically, the Wizards 115.3 points per 100 possessions allowed. And the Nuggets' offensive rating is one of the best. I mean, the metrics feel like the Wizards should get smacked. But if we extract that, Denver has a top 6 offensive rating, and the Wizards have a bottom 4 defensive rating. So a lot of real points to go around here for the Nuggets. But I do think Wizards have, I don't want to say spoiler potential, but I think they could keep this a game for 4 quarters long enough, strong enough that they become viable plays. Could Westbrook, Beal outscore Harden, Kyrie? So their average projection for Harden, Kyrie is probably 60 to 45, so 105 to 115 fantasy points. Can we get that out of Westbrook? Yeah, I think we can get. I got him combined for 100 flat right now, 52 and 48.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Other than that, nobody else from Washington. Again, you don't want to avoid this game. I don't think it's rocket science. Play 4 of the 5 starters for Denver. And
in a pool,
Washington
not in a lineup, right? In a pool.
Yeah, not one lineup. In a pool, probably no more than 2 and 1. And Washington, you play Beal and Westbrook. Hey, if you play them together, can you get Beal, Westbrook, and Jokic? Is there enough? You know what? There's not a lot of amazing value today. So I don't think you're going to be able to, fit in a lot of these studs. Like you try to put in 2, you're left with like 5K. Let's say like Jokic, and you want Vooch. You're left with 4,900. All right, then you're gonna play like everyone else. You're gonna play New York, Rose or Quickly, and you just start playing kind of these same.
I think you look at Winslow and you look at Campazzo.
Campazzo. Am I really gonna see? I don't like that.
Why?
It's gonna be Campazzo when everyone's healthy. 4,200. Getting you 20s, yeah. I mean, I guess Washington, if you can touch 30, sure. Again, I mean, Denver's fully healthy. I mean, not fully healthy. They're still missing Gary Harris Dozier.
Give me 20. Yeah, they're missing.
Yeah, see, 20 is fine, but you definitely want more. So, I mean, I think maybe play 1 stud and just playing some of these mid-tier guys a lot better than trying to fit in 2.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to get crazy and probably fire up 100 lineups over on FanDuel because there's so many. Like, the game theory is going nuts for me right now. Let's get caught up on chat to Gun. I made an Embiid, Harden, Jokic for fun. It's not as thin as you think either. Did it involve Campazzo, Quickly, and Winslow? If it did, I don't think it's crazy. Mark says Garrison Matthews worst starter in the league. Nah, Matthews has.
Tony Snell has entered the chat.
Yo, Tony Snell was going off last night. I think I saw he was shooting like over 50% from 3 this season, so maybe he just stopped shooting. What up, Self Gun? Hey, who would you pick, Bruce Brown or Dante DiVincenzo? Probably Bruce Brown, but it's not a snap call. Also, DJ Augustine or Campazzo on FanDuel, can't make up my mind. So I think Campazzo has a stronger shot at 20, but if Drew Holiday is going to be out again, DJ Augustine at least gives you the minutes that you might be hoping for. Under 4K on FanDuel, last couple games, 25 in a blowout, 27-32. So I think like a shot at 30 minutes is there for Augustine, and we know that the Pelicans' defense is really bad. But at the same time, the T-Wolves and the Kings defense is not great, and you see the range of outcomes for him. But I think I'd probably just chip and share the minutes a little bit and let that be the tiebreaker. I would assume that on average, if Drew Holiday's out, Augustine plays more minutes than Campazzo on average. If the Nuggets blow out the Wizards, you might get a different story. Imagine playing Wagner over Lopez. Man, that center situation for Washington is interesting. I think Wagner, I think this could be one of those spots where Wagner's foul problems really present themselves. I'm probably just staying away from it. How many by the way, what's up, Retro TTV or Retro TV? Hope you're doing all right. All the Campazzo, especially with Morris on the first team. Yeah. Gun, does my guy TLC get any love tonight? He probably doesn't get like extended minutes. I only ever play TLC when like everyone's out and he gets 40 minutes and there's that. Like I think he missed last game, but like if he's projected at 25 or less, I'm not really like super excited, right? What's up, Ava? Bruce Brown or Monte Morris? Monte Morris might get more minutes. Bruce Brown, for what it's worth, only played like 25 minutes last game and had just like a crazy anomalic scoring night. That's not normal for him. So probably just gamble on some minutes here. But I think that's a solid 1v1. If Jeff Green and Luwawu are, in, I don't know. I just don't think that's a normal night for Bruce Brown, all things considered. So I probably go Morris, but I think that's closer to a coin flip than anything. What about Brunson? Chip in a chair, really. All of those guards, I think it's Luka +1 on average. So the +1 would be Josh Richardson, Jalen Brunson, and Tim Hardaway in terms of who would likely succeed and pick up some scoring. So I think Brunson's fine, but I don't think he's like elite pre-flop in terms of safety. What game is more likely a blowout today? Nets, Nuggets, or Clippers? I would probably say Nets. I think that that's a track meet. Keep up with us. I do think Nuggets at home have a really strong chance to put the Wizards away, but I think the Wizards have more offensive firepower than this version of the Magic. So I would probably say Nets, but all of those games could get lopsided. What up, Mopar? I won last night. Thumbs up. Got to go to work. Bye. All right, Mopar. Have a good day at work. Stay safe, buddy. Bertans doubtful. Den Advia, hello. I wouldn't get too wrapped up in these supplementary Wizards players. Right? Rui Hachimura. I've had to just do projected for like a million minutes for like a year now. He just doesn't get there often. But if you want some Advia, you're just looking for some value, picking up some of those Bertans minutes. Bertans does represent, in my projections, 27 minutes and double-digit shot attempts. A lot of three balls too, 4, 7, 8.
I would like Josh Hart as value today, even though he's kind of mid-tier priced.
Yeah. That's fine. Phone died. Campazzo. I think Campazzo's fine. I'd play him for 20 and just take that. Gone, is Fantasy Labs the best optimizer tool out there? Is it worth it? They're not paying me to say yes. I've tried a few optimizers. For me, the ease of access is strong. The ability to navigate is simple. It's aesthetically pleasing, and they have really any tool that or any tool that other optimizers would present, like lead swap abilities, correlation abilities. They do it just as well as the other ones, and they don't go on Twitter flaming customers, so that's a plus. So I use them, but I don't necessarily like. I don't know. Yeah, I use them. So for me, they're the best. But
they're cool.
Optimizers are 90% projections, and then the ability to navigate the tools that are and the abilities of what that opto can do in terms of correlation, setting correlations and exposure, stuff like that. So it's really all about the projections first and foremost. So if you have a good projection source, you can pretty much upload that to any opto, and there's probably $5, $10 optimizers that would get it done, right? What's the meaning of logistically? It's like logistically. I can define logistically. I put in the letter D on here, and I almost went to DoorDash. In a way that relates to logistics. Logistically. Could you use it in a sentence? Raj says everyone can score 50 fantasy points.
On this slate, literally everybody can.
But that's not logistically correct.
Every guy above 9K might actually score, or 9,500 might actually score above 50 today.
Yeah, Dougie says I pay $200 a year for Line Star. It's pretty accurate on floors and ceilings. I like Line Star. I actually have a buddy that put some content over there. I would love to actually partner with Line Star. I don't know who to talk to, but I definitely think they're fine. I haven't dabbled with their optimizer, but some of the other presentation that they have is really, really sharp. So shout out to Line Star. If you guys haven't checked them out, check them out. We got one game left on the docket. We're almost done. We're almost through. In 7 minutes, I got to be in the RunDFS.com. NBA VIP pre-lock voice chat. You guys can come be part of that. Go to rundfs.com. Make yourself an account. Get signed up. This morning, I launched the All-Star to All-Star Break Pass. Just $200 to lock in daily access to all the spreadsheets that I spearhead. Between now and then, it's going to be NBA and baseball mainly. Nothing out there. And since I'm in a grumpy mood today, Raj, nothing out there touches my baseball spreadsheet. It's that simple. I'm just gonna say it. F it.
I agree with
I'm
that
trying to. I like to be PC, but god dang it, my baseball spreadsheet's the best. So if you guys want access to that, you want to learn a new sport, spring training. We get some spring training games this weekend. Raj, I heard Vlad Guerrero Jr. dropped 40+ pounds.
Bro, I mean, the breakout's got to be this season, or we just not gonna have that superstar potential not being reached this season.
Yeah. Anyway, $200. All-Star to All-Star break. If you get it today, that'll get you every day between now and the MLB All-Star break in July. Of course, we still have the week passes, 2-week passes, month passes, stuff like that. You'll unlock immediate access to the spreadsheets and the RunDFS.com VIP Discord, where we have voice chats for everything. There's NASCAR coverage in there as well, but I personally can guarantee coverage for basketball and baseball. We also have the Top Shot channel, discussing strategies and stuff like that. There's a lot of really, really successful people in this chat at all different bankroll levels. For the trolls that might be sitting hidden in chat, we have literal millionaire in here. Always Be Placing has been a subscriber for a long time. He won the NFL Millionaire Maker in December. Jake's dropped the 100K. A. Dean's won the 100K. A couple 100K winners. Russ has had big wins. Me personally, in the past 3 months, I probably flipped 40K, and that's just grinding out. But you don't have to be like the high roller. You could be the quarter arcade grinder, the $1, the $2, all that good stuff. So if you want a really open-minded community, really diverse community, and just a fun be who you are community, and we all have a similar goal in mind, play some DFS, keep each other privy, updated, call each other on their BS. And if you want to watch the head-to-head series, Raj, you and Chronic, what is it, 2-1 now?
He's up 2-1 right now. Yep. He's up 2-1, and today best out of 10.
Yeah. Main event tonight, Milwaukee Bucks hosting New Orleans Pelicans, a 242.5 total, 9-point spread in favor of the home team. Bucks project 75 for the Pelicans. Lonzo Ball, Eric Bledsoe, revenge game. Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Stone Cold Steven Adams. It's going to get one board. What? Taking on DJ Augustine, Dante DiVincenzo, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Brooke Lopez, a 242.5 total from the Department of Redundancy Department, 9-point spread. Pelicans, one of the worst defenses in basketball with one of the slower paces. It's incredible. You take that defense, you take that pace, and it's the unstoppable force and movable object going against a team like the Milwaukee Bucks that will be one of the top teams in pace in the league when it's all said and done. That's what they are year to year right now. They are officially the 5th fastest team pace-wise, and their offensive rating is, I think, the best or the 3rd best in basketball. So that offensive rating, that pace going against the defensive rating of the Pelicans. It's a great spot for the Bucks here. And Giannis Antetokounmpo could drop 80 fantasy points, and I'm not being facetious. I think that's actually a range of outcomes. Chris Middleton on FanDuel, 7.6K, 40+, 50+ fantasy points is an uncomfortable range of outcome there. I know a lot of you guys are getting tired of playing Chris Middleton, but it is possible. And then DJ Augustine, I think, will just rank pretty decently as a value play in my projections. I got him just over 20 fantasy points. So you add him to the mix of the Compazos, maybe the Quickleys, the Roses. Who else do we identify as potential value today? Justice Winslow, guys like that. There's plenty of viable names for the Bucks. If you want to play potential blowout, or you just want to play a guy in the mid tiers, I think Bobby Portis on both sides has a chance to drop 25, 35 fantasy points, considering the matchup and considering his per min efficiency. Do we want to trust the Pelicans to keep this game close? And if we do,
hell yes.
We do.
All the Lonzo Ball today. All the Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball outscores Kyrie Irving today. I'm on the Lonzo Ball train today. 6'3" on DK. What a price for a guy who's going to get you 50 today. This is the matchup. Going to be a run up and down the court. Milwaukee's defense without Drew Holiday is taking a step back. New Orleans plays no defense. Give me Lonzo. Give me Zion. Give me Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, he's literally been in the winning lineup now for I don't know how many days in a row. Like he's literally been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Literally the past 9 slates he's been on. He's been in the winning lineup. So give me Giannis. Middleton, you gotta keep in the pool. I mean, last game 35 fantasy points. DK game for that 62. And that's his outcome. He can get you 50 plus 60, or he can get you 30. At his price, you want the 50 bomb. You got to keep him in the pool. Give me Middleton, give me Giannis, and then give me Zion and Lonzo. Josh Hart as a value, I think, is great. Coming off the bench, pace up spot. I love playing Josh Hart. Going to get you the peripherals, the rebounds, a couple of assists, a couple of blocks, maybe a steal, points. Give me him at 5K as well. I'm leaning Zion over Ingram, but if you want to play Ingram too, that's fine. I'm not going to tell you not to. Bledsoe, I mean, even Bledsoe's cheap.
So if I'm gonna, oh my god, I'm so tired. If I'm gonna piece together a game plan here and just let the metrics tell the story. So first of all, let's start with the Bucks. Will the Bucks give up? What do they not give up? Metric wise, and I said this yesterday, and Jimmy Butler put up a dumb amount of real points. But metric wise, when it comes to points in the paint allowed, the Bucks give up a bottom 4 amount of points in the paint. Which Zion he's gonna run to the rack quite a bit, right? So maybe we take a step back on Zion, but they're gonna give up a lot of points via the 3 points allowed per game.
Got 50 on him last time.
Zion did no. I think Zion's still fine, but I'm just saying let me tell a story here. Let me get on a journey. They give up a top 4 amount of points per game via the 3-ball. Who chucks the most threes for the Pelicans? Is it Lonzo Ball? Yes.
Like
The answer is yes. Lonzo's out here pulling up, man. 5 and 6 in the last 2 games is whatever, but prior to that, like 12, 10, 7, 7, 10. Like, who does this man think he is? So I don't think your little Lonzo Ball infatuation is completely off base, and I do think his peripherals are there. The question is, do they keep it competitive? They keep it close. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer from where we sit now, but I do think Lonzo Ball is 6'3", has potential to outperform his salary and just get lost in the sauce. He dropped 47 DKP against the Bucks last time out, shot 10 for 20, 7 for 13 from behind the arc. So definitely giving Lonzo some chip and chair potential to go bananas. It's an Eric Bledsoe revenge game back in Milwaukee. Sure, we can divvy that one up, but generally speaking, for the Pelicans team stack is kind of affordable, meaning Lonzo, Ingram, Zion. I don't see myself getting to like Adams, and I don't want to play Eric Bledsoe, but I like the thought of it.
He dropped 38 DK last time, and everyone was healthy.
Who, Bledsoe?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Pelicans are stackable, and they would create some unique lineups versus the typical studs and scrub approach, right? You get a little bit more breathing room if you're not jamming in 10, 11K guys, and you're going across the board. Now, with that said, that's where my creative juices were like flowing for mass entry. You can go any approach you want here. You can go studs and scrubs. And the more I think about it, the balance approach is super strong as well. 9.5 or less. Westbrook, Kawhi, Beal, Julius Randle for 38 minutes against the worst defense in basketball. Kyrie, Paul George. We know him and Kawhi can combine for 100. And then all of the Pelicans. Jamal Murray's 8-4. He's going to be in no man's land, and Lonzo as well. So, man, I really think I'm going to get a little ambitious and just try to let my game theory. I'm gonna go full Russ on it. Russ, if you guys are into RunDFS.com VIP, Russ will write you full on games story mode. Like I'm gonna tell a lot of stories with my batches.
How much Giannis?
I mean, it's where he falls, right? Like I think if all the 11K guys are between 20 and 40% projected ownership, I'll probably just sit right there in the middle, because I don't think there's gonna be a giant gap normally between what Giannis does, what Jokic, and what Harden does. I think the median range outcome is 60 fantasy points, maybe plus minus 5 to 10. If we get to 10, then I need the guy that has 10 more points than the next guy. But 5 fantasy points, I think at that point, no matter what, the grunt work in your lineup is going to be those 5K or less role players. So I'd be more focused on those guys, getting those guys right now than getting the studs right. Let's see what you guys got in the live chat before we move on.
The last game.
Yeah, it is the last game. The battle of the two most immovable objects in Zion and Giannis. Got my popcorn ready. I hope foul problems don't impact that matchup, but definitely want to watch that game from a real life standpoint. And I hope the Pelicans can compete. Mopar says Jordan Clarkson took $2,100 away from me last night on a late three. Took fourth in a showdown for the Lakers versus Utah last night, $2,100 to $133 in a second. Dude, the swings and showdowns are just incredible. Nothing like you play a Monday Night Football showdown, and you're sitting in first place, and then some like third string tight end gets a touchdown on a flea flicker. You're just like, what? And it's like, who played that guy? And then you're just mad because somebody played that guy. I would imagine it's not as crazy in NBA because most people that get rostered are viable, but man, there were some dumb showdown lineups that would make me think people own time machines. Give me Lonzo and Bledsoe, says Lorenza. I don't mind that at all. Bledsoe be like, pass me the ball, Lonzo. Love Augustine and Middleton. I like that. What up, Mark? Playing 30 lineups. I'll probably try and get to 50 and a $3, and then if I feel like I need to get to a little bit more, push it to 100. I don't think I get to 150. 150 is really hard to profit. But 100, I think 100 is a good little area. I think when I hit that 15K in December, actually I think that was 150. I don't remember. Count your blessings, not your losses. I understand. Yeah. Chat, hit that thumbs up, man. Help me out. Let's get some good vibes going as we get closer to the lock. What is this? US report? Okay. Twitter be blowing my mind sometimes. With the trending stuff. You guys got any lasting questions, comments, concerns? Drop them in chat. Otherwise, it's been a fun stream. Tomorrow, I think schedule-wise, unless I try and take a Sunday off, I think schedule-wise, we have playable, viable slates all the way through the All-Star break, which is killing me because I'm tired. I need to get caught up on sleep, but I don't mind it. The grind is the grind. Tomorrow is a 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 game slate, 6:30 tip off, so 30 minutes past usual time. We got Pacers at the Celtics, Rockets at the Raptors, Kings, Pistons, Suns, Bulls, Clippers, Grizzlies, Jazz at the Heat, Hawks at the Thunder, Blazers at the Lakers, and Hornets at the Warriors. So several fire and ice matchups, a couple back-to-backs, and that's leading into Saturday with another decent size slate. So I guess we expect to be back live tomorrow. If you guys are Top Shot grinders, Top Shot has a drop scheduled in the morning. If that starts getting pushed closer to stream lock, I'll try and not overlap with that. But maybe look for a 3:30, 2:30. Maybe a 3:30, 2:30. What did we say it was? 2, 4, 6. Maybe look for a 3-2. Actually, that's a big slate. So. Yeah, let's get caught up on chat before we get out of here. And then, Seth Curry over Bledsoe. Nah, Seth Curry. I don't know, man. What do you think? Seth Curry versus...
No, definitely Bledsoe over Seth Curry for me. Like you said, a little revenge narrative here, too. Back where he was.
I mean, Seth Curry has a revenge game, too. But, yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Barton or Porter Jr., I'm probably going with Michael Porter Jr. I kind of like taking advantage of Michael Porter Jr. playing some power forward, attacking some more peripherals in that high-paced game. I think the young guy like MPJ could really thrive and surprise some people. So if I'm a 1v1, I'd probably lean Michael Porter Jr. And, yeah. All right. I guess that's it, Raj. I'll see you in the NBA chat in just a minute. Chat, I appreciate you guys making part of my day be part of your day. Sorry if I got a little spicy, a little out of pocket, a little out of character. Some days we have bad hair days, and I didn't get my beauty rest. So, yeah. We don't usually pay the trolls time. Twitter.com/GundackerSports. I forgot to plug Prize Picks. Budge. PrizePicks.com, code GUNDACKER. Get a $100 instant deposit bonus when you sign up using code GUNDACKER. So check that out. Otherwise, man, I definitely appreciate you guys hanging out with us live on the YouTube channel. Be back tomorrow afternoon. Looking for a 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central launch. But if you follow me on Twitter, I'll keep you guys updated if something changes. Richardson or Bledsoe, Curry go for 1 for 10. Man, I hope you guys crush it. I hope you guys win a ton of money tonight. And I want to see those screenshots. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money.